The Echoes Beneath the Glass Lake. English Story Level 6. The lake at the northern edge of Winmer Town was so clear and motionless that people called it the Glass Lake. Even in stormy seasons, its surface hardly rippled, as if protected by a silent, mysterious force. 14-year-old Clara often visited the lake to sketch landscapes, but recently she had begun hearing faint echoes rising from beneath the water, like distant voices trapped below the surface. At first she dismissed the sounds as tricks of the wind, but the echoes grew sharper, almost forming broken words. One autumn afternoon, as orange leaves drifted across the shoreline, Clara noticed a silver shimmer deep beneath the water. It pulsed slowly, almost in sync with the echoes, and for the first time she felt the lake was trying to communicate with her. Determined to uncover the truth, Clara borrowed an old rowboat from her neighbor and paddled to the center of the lake. The water beneath her turned darker and thicker, as if hiding something ancient. Then, without warning, the echoes rose, voices overlapping to form a single whisper. Awaken the memory. Clara froze, gripping the oars, unsure whether to flee or listen. That night, unable to sleep, she searched the town's library for historical records about the lake. Tucked in a dusty corner, she found a leather-bound journal written by an explorer from over a century ago. The explorer described a glowing crystal that had once been found deep inside the lake's basin, capable of absorbing the memories of anyone who approached it. According to the journal, the crystal vanished after a massive storm, and the lake's surface became unnaturally still from that day on. The next day, Clara returned to the lake with diving gear borrowed from her cousin. She wasn't an expert swimmer, but curiosity pushed her deeper into the cold, silent waters. As she descended, the shimmer grew brighter, illuminating the dark lake bed like a submerged star. At the center lay a crystal sphere the size of a melon, glowing with swirling patterns that resembled thoughts drifting through a dream. When Clara touched the sphere, images flooded her mind, memories from people long gone, their hopes, fears, and unfinished stories merging with her consciousness. She pulled her hand back, gasping, but the crystal pulsed again, projecting a final memory. A massive storm that had shattered the ancient shrine built around it. The people who once protected the sphere had vanished, leaving it to lie in silence beneath the lake. Realizing the sphere was begging to be returned to its shrine, Clara swam to a stone structure half buried in the mud. She pushed aside debris, revealing a shallow pedestal with engraved patterns matching the crystal. With trembling hands, she placed the sphere onto the pedestal. The lake suddenly trembled, releasing a deep echo that reverberated through her bones. The water around her brightened, rising in swirling currents that wrapped around the shrine. Ancient symbols ignited with blue light as the sphere began to pulse steadily, no longer chaotic. Clara watched in awe as the echoes faded, replaced by a calm, peaceful hum. For the first time in decades, the lake felt alive, not haunted. When Clara resurfaced, the glass lake rippled gently, as any normal lake should. She paddled back to shore, breathless and exhilarated, knowing she had awakened something ancient and restored balance to a forgotten memory. That night, the lake remained quiet, but Clara felt certain it would remember her forever.